Hello everyone, welcome to drinknectar.com. I'm your host, Josh Wade, and this is the internet's place to explore the 5 senses of coffee and wine. Today we are doing a Washington wine called Northwest Cellars, started by founder Bob Delph. He's a longtime software CEO. They launched in 2004, I believe it was, and they engaged the help and enlist the help of David Moore and Robert Smasny for their winemaking, for his winemaking of this. And he's got a really cool concept, and I'll tell you why the labels are turned around here in a second. But he's got a great concept and a good tagline. It's called Wine Now It Gets Personal. And so what they do is they offer various customized labels for people to take advantage of for anniversaries, birthdays, baby showers, retirement, weddings, holidays, business events. I can see all kinds of business uses for this type of product. And so it excites me. And then the other reason why that I'm reviewing these is a good friend of mine, Rebecca Templeton, who has a small company here in Spokane called Blends of Vino. She recently picked up these guys and is a distributor here on the east side of the state, trying to get this wine into businesses' hands for the personal label creation as well as just restaurants. The first wine we're reviewing tonight is the Adagio from Northwest Cellars. And I've got 69% Sauvignon Blanc, 31% Chardonnay. Oh, got that wrong. 61% Sauvignon Blanc, 39% Chardonnay from Columbia Valley. I mentioned that a friend of mine, Rebecca Templeton, with Blends of Vino, is using these as her label that she's doing. So she's just showing businesses how they can have private labels for their endeavors. So this wine here is really light in color. Wouldn't even barely say there's a hint of yellow at all in there. So very pale honey tones. Let's give it a sniff. Citrus, grapefruit, a little bit of kind of what feels like maybe some vanilla or oaked Chardonnay in there. I'll have to do some research to see if the Chardonnay was oaked or underwent any malolactic fermentation or secondary fermentation in there. But let's give it a sip. So the wine seems to have like a split personality. I mean, I've had a blend similar to this before, but maybe not quite so split in there between the Chardonnay and the Sauvignon Blanc. But you definitely have a lot of citrus in there with some lemon peel, some grapefruit coming through. And that seems to be pretty predominant, but to the split personality in there is that you have some soft plays of apple as well and some pear. To me, it just seems a little disjointed, and it might be because I'm not a huge fan of grapefruit. So if you really like a real citrusy, Sauvignon Blanc, it'd be great to pair with some food in the summertime, hot weather, some salads, some fruit salads, just any kind of chicken salad that you're doing. That might be a great food pairing. The next wine we're going to do is their 2005 Merlot. Show you the front label as well. 75% Merlot, 13% Syrah, 12% Cabernet Sauvignon. So I guess consider this a proprietor's reserve. Proprietor's blend, I should say. $17, I believe, is all. Really, wow, dark, got some brown colors, a burnt, rusty, purple, very aged. You can tell this is 5-year-old wine, obviously. Almost want to sense like a dark cola, and I'm already picking up some nose, so let's give it a sniff. Okay, so I didn't decant this wine, just opened it, so I'm getting a small hint of cork, but just beyond that, really interesting, some leathery plum in there, and then an underlying tone of chocolate. Very intriguing. I'm actually liking the way the nose of this wine is. I hope it is just as good on the sip. Let's give it a sip. All right, so it has a lot of like black tea components and some coffee in there. A little bit of real dark, kind of plummy, dried, like a prune. Some gaminess. really interesting. It's definitely still a medium-bodied wine. The fruit flavors are very thin on the front, but it's those extra intriguing flavors that you have that come in on the back. Be a great food pairing wine. Really unique and different for a Columbia Valley Merlot when it comes to the fruit in there. So, you know, if you're out for a standard standby chocolatey cherry Merlot, this probably wouldn't be a label you necessarily would pick up. But if you want something interesting and intriguing with a little bit of dynamic characteristics to it, this actually would be one that you want to pick up in the store. I'm very impressed by how this wine presents itself. So overall, you've got 2 Northwest Cellars wines, presented by Blends of Vino here in Spokane, but also available across the whole entire state. Stoked that I got a chance to taste these because I talk with Bob Delf online a lot on Twitter. So anyway, if you're on Twitter, follow me at Nectar Wine. I'm also on Facebook /DrinkNectar. Remember, life is always meant to be enjoyed with friends. And I want to say cheers to a new friend of mine with Rebecca at Blends of Vino. Drink happy.